Last week on Sailing Adrift, we had a few special guests stop by to help us figure things out in the engine room.
All we're doing is trying to figure out what the hell is
Everything.
so that we can hook it up to this new harness.
We also had a diesel mechanic out, and he gave us some really great advice as far as overall layout, optimal routes, hookups, and defining what each component does and how they communicate with each other. But he kept stressing one very important thing.
Number one thing, sanitation. You want to get everything sucked up.
Right.
All the dust, everything.
So obviously, this had to be done, and fast.
Well, that looks 10 times better, I must say.
Today's the day. Time to start installing things. And for our first trick, we'll wire up the bilge pump.
Here is the bilge pump we're going to use for most of the brunt of the work, because this doesn't have a high capacity, so it doesn't use a lot of amps, and it can take its time getting the water out when it needs to and when the float switch goes off. You don't need some heavy duty 4,000 gallon an hour unit for this type of application with the way we're setting ours up. We'll use this beastie in a backup position for in situations where the water is really high and we've got a problem that we need to deal with, and hopefully that means never. I went with this pump just because I had it already. Someone had sent me the wrong pump, and rather than wanting me to send it back to them, they said I could just keep it. So it's probably an $80 pump. It's made for bilges because it says bilge on it. So we're going to use it. One of the things that you can do, you can either have a hose going down into the bilge and this will suck it up like a straw through a Strom box, which is this. It's basically a strainer that sits on the floor, or we'll just use the hose directly to the ground level with a little 45-degree angle cutting it so nothing blocks it. And then we'll use this on the pump to keep the strain, or all the nasty chunks strained out of it. This might become a huge pain in the butt, but this again was something I bought a while back and I couldn't return it, so we're going to use this. If this ends up getting blocked far too often, which it shouldn't, I don't think, then we'll come up with a different solution, maybe that Strom box. But for now, I'm just going to get this all set up, and this will actually flow through this way vertically from the bilge up and around and out the side of the boat. It's going to tee into the other bilge line. Everything's going to come through one port and support each other. Here are our two platforms for inside the bilge. They aren't pretty, obviously, but they're painted and made of 100% fiberglass and epoxy resin, so that means they're completely waterproof. This will be for the upper one, and this will be for the lower one. The only one that'll be attached to this is the float, and this tells our workhorse little guy to turn on. And then up here, this will actually be a manual bilge pump that will be operated by switch and doesn't use a float, but there will be a float up here, and I need to drill the holes for it. This is one that we inherited with the boat. It's a little bit ugly, but I've tested it and it still works just fine. So basically, this one, when it goes off, makes an alarm sound. So this one does its everyday flipping on, turning the pump on, turning it off, and stuff like that. But if water overwhelms the little pump, or this doesn't work for some reason, we have a backup that sends off an alarm, and we can turn this bad boy off, which is again our Rule 3700 with an 1.5 inch discharge. This thing pumps a lot of water, and we're going to keep it as efficient as possible by making sure that we're going directly up and out as smoothly as possible. So this comes with its own strainer. It fits right there. We're going to install that right now. We're going to get this all fabricated and ready to go into the boat because we have almost all the pieces. The only thing we're going to be waiting for is our final hose. Alas, I don't have that yet, but hopefully it's coming soon. It's time to install in the bilge.
Install what in the bilge?
We're going to install a couple of pumps down there.
A couple?
Yeah, as we've talked about, we're going to have a primary workhorse pump that draws a low current and doesn't flow as high capacity because we don't need that on a daily. Water leaks in, errant things condensate, a little water comes in here, a little there, collects in the bilge. We want to get that out of there, something that's suited for that job. But then sometimes, actually hopefully never, something tragic could happen. Something like a hose bursting or something along these lines, that through caulk that doesn't quite do things. Well, then we need a big boy, a big beefy bilge pump.
Yeah.
And we have that too.
Cool. How many pumps are we at right now?
Well, let's count. Let's see how many pumps we have. We have
the oil exchange pump that was here when we got it in the boat. Okay. We have the hydraulic pump that works with the autopilot that was here when we got the boat. We have the pump that's on the engine that intakes water. We have the high pressure pump for the water maker that we're going to install. We have the pump for the V-flow sinks and stuff. We have the pump that drains the shower. We have the 2 pumps on the back toilet, 1 manual and 1 electric. We have the 2 pumps on the front. That's 1 manual, 1 electric. Mm-hmm. We have the bilge pump and the bilge pump. We have the washdown pump that's in the front. And is that all? Is that all the pumps? I think I did a pretty good job. Yeah. There's probably one I'm missing though.
Well, we're going to call that all of the pumps. Okay. How many was that? It was this many.
13.
Back to the bilge.
So what we've done some pre-work. This is the lower area. These holes are for zip tying it into place because there is a chance that we might want to pull this out of there. If the switch stops working, it'd be a heck of a lot easier to pull it out, replace the switch, and put it back. So what I did was I made holes that will attach to, you'll see them down there, maybe we can overlay it on the screen right now, the caps that they use to fill the ballast of the keel. And we're gonna zip tie that in place so it stays flat. But it's really kind of compression fit anyway, so it should stay flat by itself. This will go in first. Then we have this that goes in slightly higher. This will be the big beefy bilge pump.
Okay.
That's kind of like the backup one. We'll operate this by a manual switch. And this will be another float switch. One might think it would control this pump, but that's not what we're gonna do with it. This switch is going to be an alarm. So if this goes up, we get a big loud beep, 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 and a light that flashes to let us know that water is past our little bilge pump. So there's something wrong. Either that's not on, or that's not working, or so much water is coming in that it's overwhelming it. It could be a bad thing.
Yes.
So then we can switch this on. There's some cool things you can do too. Like if you're really taking on a lot of water and it's an emergency situation, you can just close off your through hole for your engine water coolant and pull that hose off and stick it into wherever you want, and then turn your engine on, and that works like a giant bilge pump, like a crash pump almost.
Oh.
So we've got some things that we could do should there be an emergency. The little pump should handle things. That'll be the one that's always on and always monitoring, and always, so if we're off the boat and water starts to come in, we'll get that. We'll also be able to hopefully wire in the bilge alarm to our alerting station through our Cortex system. So that'll be cool. Oh, did I spill the beans?
Yeah, you did.
I didn't mean to say Cortex system. We're not getting one of those.
You didn't?
We are. It's in a box. So should we get to it?
Yes, let's get to it.
How deep is your bilge? How deep is your bilge? How deep is your bilge?
How deep is our bilge?
I really need to know. It's that deep.
Stick it.
Goes down. I'm gonna say 18 inches deep.
Oh.
And then it has another subsection that is also about another foot deep. So we're looking at like a solid 30 inch deep bilge. Okay, so first thing we need is this, and then 3 zip ties. And we're gonna see how red my face can get as all the blood rushes to it as I lay over the battery box.
And get angry.
And yeah, get real comfortable having my head below my feet.
Boat, CrossFit.
We don't speak of CrossFit. You can come down and hang out?
Yeah, I'll be right there.
You filming?
Yeah, take your time. I'm here all day.
Anus. How's that?
That's good.
Okay. What?
So I was just looking at your feet.
Why do you stand on my feet, weirdo?
Well, there was a lot of movement back there. It seemed weird. Kind of twitchy.
How numb are your feet? How numb are your feet? How numb are your feet? Mine seem to be pretty numb. What's that nerve that goes down to your legs?
Sciatic? Yeah. You feeling it? Or are you not feeling it?
I feel numbed.
Oh.
This is like slipping dash in your neck.
Yeah.
Have some emergency services pull you out of here.
I'll pull you out.
You got it.
I'll try real hard.
So I shouldn't move me.
Why not?
Because I'd have a neck injury.
Oh.
The sound of success.
The zip tie being tightened.
Nice.
One down, we'll shoot for one more.
Okay.
All right, can you see that?
Nope.
And it looks, it's not flat, but it is stable and stuck. And that is a definite working orientation for the float switch. So, next part, the bigger one. Oh no!
Your poor hair.
Why my hair?
There's paint in it.
Well, girls dye their hair all the time, what's the problem?
It was a different thing. Is this an Herbal Essence commercial?
No, I'm not having an orgasm. Or am I?
I don't know.
Here is the second tier. Now that we have the first tier done, I think I'm gonna hold off on this until we install the pump on the wall, which would be this guy right here.
Okay.
I was gonna set up like this, in that wall right above the hot water heater. So I'll switch the sides.
Now that song stuck in my head.
What phone?
How deep is your love?
How deep is my love?
Is it 18 inches deep?
No. Get this up high. I think I do. Okay, I have to make a slight modification to this.
And we're back.
I am. And now we have a 90 at the top.
Sweet.
Yeah, not ideal, but again, this is not meant to be like the emergency, pump all the water possible pump. This is the nuisance water pump.
Looks good.
Space. So how to mark this? So anyway, we can pause it and you can hold this.
Yeah.
So I can drill. Well, for you that was about 1 split second, and for us sitting in here fighting this stupid thing to get the pilot holes and everything, it took 15 minutes. Because nothing in a boat is easy. I'm like hinging this on my elbow on this hot water heater, and it doesn't feel good. That didn't taste good.
That didn't sound good.
I saw little bits of metal flying. This one not find its hole.
Do we need 4?
Don't start talking like that. I hate when you talk like that.
Why?
Can we take the easy route and not do it
Can
right?
we just get it done?
I've never heard you say, that doesn't seem secure enough. Should we do more? It's always like, do we have to do that much? There. Whether we need it or not, there are 4 in there. And that's a good thing. Next up, we take this and see how I cut it at a little angle.
I did.
I wanted it to be able to slurp close to the bottom, but I also didn't want it to get like blocked by crap. We feed this down like this. And then we trade spots.
Okay.
So let's see how deep this needs to go. And I just drop it in. Just
There you
like
go.
that.
Magic.
And it's installed. See that precision fitting?
I can't because your big head's in the way.
It's nice and tight. There's a stable base in the back.
Oh, look at that.
Looks pretty good, huh?
Those look pretty good.
Yeah,
Nice job.
thank you. So this actually lines up pretty well. And I don't think we really need a cut. We can secure it to the wall. I'm gonna say I don't want to cut any of that off.
Okay.
What do you think? Maybe a little bit?
You know me, I just like to take shortcuts.
So where's our white goo?
The T+2? There you go.
That's it. This hose is ugly. It belongs in a bilge.
I was having a hard time touching it.
Why?
I didn't know what was on it.
Let's see if we have to heat this up or if I can get it on without needing to.
It's good.
Not yet. We're not up to the top yet there.
Oh.
Shortcut, Kelly. There we go. All right. That looks good. We got our all stainless steel worm drive hose clamp. We pull that little tip out, just the tip. Flip it around, put it back in. We are complete. I don't think I drilled that. Did I hand it to you?
The long one?
Well, the only drill bit we've been playing with, the little one. Little
I
guy.
have, that's what I have in my pocket.
A cashew, a couple of caps.
Yeah.
A star bit. I got it. Would you like a butterscotch?
And this drill bit's so that's why it's my favorite drill bit.
All right, Stubby.
Stubby.
There we go. Let's see if we need to make it a little snippy. Stubby.
Stubby.
Yeah, see that? It's pretty good.
Yeah, shake that hose.
Here.
Drop it low. Shoddy.
Are you calling my work shoddy?
Nope.
Okay.
Because Chris doesn't take shortcuts.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's a good little angle.
It's a nice one. Good job.
So we can put this in. This is our big boy. Goes on this red thing and snaps into place. Listen for it. Oh, I heard one side snap. Did they both? Ooh, nice little click there.
Nice.
Simultaneous click. All right, so that's all we can do for today. We have the 1.5 inch discharge hose on order that will ultimately end up over there, shooting the bilge water off the side of the boat. This will tee into that. It's got its own strainer. We've got our 2 float switches, and we've got a lot of electrical to do in order to finish this all up. But for now, I'm gonna call this a raging success.
A raging success.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we get to that electrical stuff, we've got other stuff to do down here. So onward. You get to paint the engine room.
I get to.
Yeah, dude, that's a privilege.
I get to.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Give it a shot. Try to have a PMA,
What's a PMA?
a positive mental attitude.
Oh. Here we go. Next project featuring my PMA. Oh.
What?
I just dumped the end of this electrical thing in paint.
Told you it's a dangerous spot. What are you doing down there?
Painting.
Polar bear in a snowstorm?
That's what it looks like.
You hit the hose up by your head over there.
Where?
Right there on that hose.
I think somebody else did that.
No, that was you. I saw you. You did it. Ah, I got paint in my hair. Why is it that you don't care while you're doing the project, and then when you get done, you feel like you're an idiot?
I've experienced this too many times now, which is why I'm sporting this do-rag. It's kind of odd for Chris to not be wearing one of his ridiculous bandanas, as he pretty much wears them all the time, always. Hi.
Do you like those socks?
I liked them, yeah.
Why'd you get paint on them?
I didn't realize how sticky the floor was. Sacrificial socks.
But it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Well, that should be fine. You didn't get that much on it. I can just see white smoke.
And now, for another shocking reveal, guess who got a haircut?
That should be much better for now, despite the fact that it looks like I stuck my finger in a light socket.
Hey you, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw and you want to keep following along, become a subscriber. Just hit that subscribe button below. And special thanks to our patron crew. We really appreciate your support. You're on film.
Come up angle more. That's what we need. For the
This?
shot. Yeah.